So let's talk about sacred. It has been said that everything is sacred. We can find the sacred in the mundane, and we can also find the sacred in the profane. Yes? Yes, we can. The origins of the word sacred comes from a Latin word, and it means to devote. To devote. And a derivative of that means holy. So we can look at sacred as devotion and holy. So let's start with just a question. What are you devoted to? What are you devoted to? What is your level of devotion for the things that you say are sacred to you? You can put it in the chat if you want to. You can put it in the comments if you like. But what are the things that you are devoted to? Something that I do every year is I meditate on the high vibrations that I want to embody more for the year. So I don't do resolutions. I sit and contemplate, like, what is the feeling tone for this year for me? And so for this year, the high vibration qualities that I chose are love, law, and laughter. Love, law, and laughter. That's what I want to experience. That's what I want to embody more fully for 2023. And so an aspect of love that I wanted to embody more was loving my body. I love my body is my affirmation. And I say that every single day because sometimes, y'all, I don't feel like I do. So I said for 2023, we going all in with this vessel that is the dwelling place for the sacred. So how could I not love it, right? So I said, okay, all right, Melissa, you're going to love your body. How are you going to demonstrate that love for your body? Because it's not enough to say it. We also have to be it and do it. Yes? So I made a commitment, and those commitments that I made were pretty mundane things. And I think we could all relate to it. So I love my body. What can I do about that? I can exercise. I could eat right. I could get enough sleep and rest. So I made those commitments to my body. I said, I will consciously eat, because sometimes I unconsciously eat. Sometimes I eat and I don't even know what I ate. So I said, let me consciously eat. Or sometimes, don't tell nobody, y'all, but I used to be addicted to Entenmann's, the Brussels ones, and I would buy them. And before I would get home, I would have eaten the whole bag. I don't know how it would happen. I started with one and I ended with, 12, right? Unconsciously eating. So to consciously eat, to consistently exercise, consistently is the key word there, and to eliminate the scale. Some of you may know this term. I heard it a lot growing up. Tell the truth and shame the devil. The scale is the devil in my world. So it doesn't matter what I weigh. What matters is what's weighing on me. What is weighing on me? And once I could shift that, lift that, release that, heal that, it's going to show up as a release in my body. So I just eliminated the scale and said, let me focus on those three things: conscious eating, consistent exercise, sleep, and rest. And that will be one of the demonstrations of me loving my body and treating it as sacred. So What is it in your life you consider mundane, right? Just ordinary stuff that you can start to relate to as sacred? Think about that. Do you have any things that are just mundane? You do it even without thinking about it, but are really sacred, because everything is sacred. You got something? Okay. All right. So I want to dig in a little bit with the consistent exercise, because I think that's a pretty common one that people make, especially at the beginning of the year. Research shows that at gyms, the membership at gyms go up so much in the month of January that some gyms, you think you're getting a sale, but they really raise the price because they know that people are going to join the gym in January. So I think most people can relate to exercise. So I said, I am going to demonstrate devotion to my body. I am going to demonstrate the sacredness of my body by consistently exercising. Again, it's not enough to just say that. What does that look like, right? Define what that looks like. So consistent exercise looks like at least 4 to 5 times a week. I am deliberately and consistently and consciously doing some form of cardio, stretching, strengthening, and endurance activities. So I did join the gym. I was one of those people that joined the gym in January, but I go consistently because I like the group activities of exercising together. So I take group classes, and it really, really serves me well to be in exercise with other people. It inspires me. And I get to do one of my favorite things, which is get on the Stairmaster. I love the Stairmaster. It's a challenge to me. So fine, 4 to 5 times a week. The gym, I also added weekly walks. So some walks I take with my walking group, and some walks I take with myself. So I get fed with some company with my walking group, and I get fed with the introverted part of me that really likes my own company and likes to be out in nature. And I still had a friend even doing that, because a tree became my friend. So whenever I go out with myself on my nature walks, I go and visit my tree, and we have a wonderful, wonderful time. So when we think about what we are devoted to, because the vibration of sacred is to devote and holy, we must consider how we are demonstrating our time to that which we are devoted to. Now, we could say that we're devoted to a whole host of things, but how much time are you devoting to the things that you are devoted to? And that would be an indication if you really regard it as sacred or not. It's just an assessment, right? Take an inventory for ourselves. It's not to beat ourselves up about it. It's not to make ourselves feel bad about it. It's not to judge ourselves about it at all. But we have to look at ourselves and call a thing so that we can start to make other conscious decisions for ourselves. There's this quote that I love. It's by William Hutchinson Murray. And he said, until one is committed, there is hesitancy, the chance to draw back. Concerning all acts of initiative and creation, there is one elementary truth. the ignorance of which kills countless ideas and splendid plans, that the moment one definitely commits oneself, then providence moves too. Providence will move when you are committed, right? And we know that providence is the manifestation of divine care and guidance. So we must commit ourselves to knowing that we are sacred, that life is sacred, that, as the Levin sang, I'm all things at once and I'm nothing at all, right? The emptiness that we get to fill up every single day. So we must devote ourselves to the commitment of sacredness and watch providence move all sorts of obstacles out of our way. Watch what was believed to be unresolvable become resolved. The other part of the quote goes like this: all sorts of things occur to help one that would never otherwise have occurred. A whole stream of events issues from the decisions, raising in one's favor all manner of unforeseen incidents, meetings, and material assistance, which no one could have ever dreamed would have come their way. So, I have this intention to treat my body as a sacred temple, right? And that intention and doing and being fully committed and devoted to that intention, guess what? Unforeseen things started to happen. Who knew, right? When I initially made that commitment in January, all I was counting on was, feeling better in my jeans, feeling better, having a tummy that was settled and not upset. The little things, which can be gigantic things. But then unforeseen things happen. Things that I certainly never dreamed would occur. So some of you know this because I've shared it with many of you in different pockets of being with each other over this last week. So did you know that you can participate in the New York City Marathon virtually? Who knew that? Folks didn't know that. So since COVID, the New York City Marathon has made it available for people to participate virtually. So wherever you are, if you do 26.2 miles, you would have completed the New York City Marathon. And they will send you a medal, right? You sign up for it, you track your miles on the Strava app. So this is what I did with my walking group last weekend. I had no intention, January of 2023, or ever in my life, to participate in anybody's marathon. It was not one of my things. I know many people have that thing, they want to do a marathon. It was not mine. No, thank you. But yet, this unforeseen thing happened because I was feeling so good in my body and I had the support around me. So I said, okay, I'm going to do this, right? And when we surround ourselves with people who are supportive of the things that we are devoted to, there is no stopping us. And this is one of the things that I love about our community at Rockland CSL. Because when I decided to do this, I had no idea how I would feel come Sunday, because I did it on a Saturday. So I was like, will I be able to move on Sunday? and we have in-person service. I don't know what's going to happen. I reached out to Chris and to Jan and I said, would you do the service on Sunday? And without hesitation, they said, yes, we got you. Now, I woke up Sunday morning feeling pretty good, I have to say. The only thing that bothered me was the toe next to my big toe. What's that? The toe next to my big toe was like sore, but that was it. That was it. And I was a little tired, right? But pretty good for having done her first marathon. So I rested up knowing that service was taken care of with Chris and Jan, and I was able to go into the city and cheer on my soul brother, Sekou Rice, because he was running his second marathon. And those of you who don't know, he ran his first marathon last year, 4 months after having a massive stroke that most people die from. So he's running his second one. So I wanted to be there to cheer him on. So I'm there in Harlem waiting for him to come so that I could cheer him on. And I waited and I waited and I waited, and now it's dark. And I'm like, where is Sekou? So to make this story short, because it's a marathon of a story, here he comes. It's like 7 o'clock at night. It's dark. A lot of people have already gone across the finish line. You see a splatter of people here, there, right? And I'm cheering him on when I see him come along 124th Street in Harlem. And he is tired, y'all. He is exhausted. So I just start walking with him, not knowing something unforeseen was going to happen. And the unforeseen thing that happened is I wind up walking with him all the way to the finish line. Because, and we do this for people that we love, we are so devoted to them. We are so devoted to supporting them that unforeseen things energize us. Providence moves the mountains and the molehills, y'all. And we walked to the finish line, and he completed his second marathon. And I got to have that experience with him. Why? Well, initially, why? Because I love my body. I love my body. And I had conditioned my body throughout this whole year by being committed to exercising 4 to 5 times a week consistently. So we have to be prepared, and we prepare ourselves in sacred ways by holding ourselves, by seeing ourselves as sacred, because we never know when that unforeseen opportunity will make itself visible. It will make itself visible through us, through this physical vessel. And so the question is, will you be ready? And I have to be honest. If you keep doing what you've been doing and it hasn't been working and you keep doing it, guess what? You're not going to be ready. So we must do something different. We must see ourselves and be devoted to ourselves and to each other. That's what we get to do. Chris and Jan supported my intention unknowingly. They supported my intention of loving my body by saying, yes, we got you. And I could just let go of last week's service. This is what we get to do in community, in sacred community with each other. So that excites me so much. That excites me. So what are you devoted to? Get clear about it. Set your intention. Write it down. What does that look like? Break it down into baby steps. And then be holy about it. Hold it as holy. So I want to share in closing 6 practices of sacred support that you can do today. And it's based on the word, of course, sacred. So I just took each of the letters from the word and came up with these 6 practices of sacred support. S, sprinkle some sacred on it. Those of you who took a class with me recently know that I would sprinkle some red Melissa on the curriculum. It was CSL's curriculum, but I would sprinkle some red Melissa on it. So sprinkle some of you on it, the sacred you on it, right? And I actually do this. Every time I say it, I go, I want to sprinkle some, right? Because it's like that mind-body connection. That energy gets flowing. If you go like this, you can't help but feel good. So sprinkle some sacred on it. Yes, bless everything as sacred. The other day, I'm going to tell you this real quick. The other day, I ran into someone I hadn't seen in a long time in the supermarket, not in the supermarket, in Target. And Target is a sacred place for me. Like, don't mess with me when I'm in Target, like, right? And so I ran into this person I hadn't seen in years. And immediately she just started dumping on me all this negativity, like all this stuff. And I was like, ew, like what is, and I was like, I got up closer to her and I went over her head and I went like this. And she was like, what are you doing? I said, girl, I'm sprinkling some joy on you. You need some joy. Let me just sprinkle some joy on you. She was like, you are crazy. I said, yes, yes. And she laughed, right? And then I quickly left. So sprinkle some sacred on it. That's S. A, it's a sound. And that sound is, ah. Take a deep breath. And when you exhale, let out, ah. And when you do it deeply, you could feel the vibration in your body. You could feel it. Breathe. It slows down everything when we take conscious breath. So let out an audible, ah. That's A. C, now you might be surprised by C. C is cry. Yep. A good old cry. A good cry creates space within us. A good cry, research has shown this, that crying releases the good chemicals in our bodies, the endorphins. A good cry. Sometimes I have a good cry, the next thing I know, I'm laughing, right? So C is cry. Let it out. Get it out of your body. R, reality with a capital R. Give yourself a reality check. So I remember the Memorex commercial. Do y'all remember okay, I am truly aging myself right now, but do y'all remember the Memorex commercial? Yeah, I see some of y'all shaking your head. I looked it up. Y'all, that was 35 years ago. It's mortifying to find that out. But those of you who are younger and don't know what I'm talking about, Memorex was a brand of cassette tapes, right? And they had a commercial where you would hear Ella Fitzgerald singing this really, really high pitch tone, right? She was like really high, and it would be so high that it would break glass. And then the tagline was, is it real or is it Memorex, right? So ask yourself that. Is this real or is this Memorex? Is this some memory from the past that I need to let go of? Is this some memory that I'm just making up right now that's not based on anything? Give yourself a reality check. We are so good at making up stuff, including our memories. A lot of things we remember never happened. So give yourself a reality check with a capital R. And then E, my favorite word, enthusiasm. Have enthusiasm for your life. Embedded in sacred is enthusiasm, because enthusiasm means to be possessed by God. So let's walk around possessed by God, possessed by love. How about that? So E, enthusiasm. And then D, of course, is devotion. Have an attitude of devotion about your transformation. You know what you are truly devoted to by what you decide to spend your time on. That is what you are devoted to. If you spend 8 hours a day watching Netflix, guess what? You're devoted to Netflix. No shade about it. But give yourself a reality check. What am I devoted to? Is it time to reassess, to let some people, places, and things go so that you can create more holy moments? That is your life. So let's make sure our devotion rate is high, a high devotion rate, and surround yourself with people on that same frequency. A high devotion rate of sacred. Yes? So there you have it. Your 6 practices for sacred support. Yes, yes, Ira. Sprinkle some sacred on it. Cry, reality check, enthusiasm, and devotion. That's what we get to do. That's how we continue on this path that we call life. That's how we reach for the sacredness. That's how all things are. That's how we are all things at once and nothing at all. By what we are devoted to. Being in this world that needs more people to show up, devoted to love, devoted to peace, devoted to oneness. Peace and blessings.